The next equipment is conveyors. A conveyor system is a common piece of mechanical handling equipment that moves material from one location to another. Conveyors are especially useful in applications involving the transportation of heavy or bulky materials. As far as growth is concerned, the material handling and conveyor system makers are getting utmost exposure in the industries like automotive, pharmaceuticals, packaging, different production plants. The portable conveyors are likewise growing fast in the construction sector. Belt conveyors are generally fairly similar in construction, consisting of a metal frame with roller at either end of the flat metal bed. Rubber conveyor belts are commonly used to convey items with irregular bottom surface, small items that would fall in between rollers, for example a sushi conveyor bar, or bags of products that would sag between rollers. The belt is looped around each of the roller when one of the roller is powered by an electric motor. The belting sides across the solid metal frame bed, moving the product. In heavy use applications, the bed which the belting is pulled over are replaced with rollers. The rollers allow weight to be conveyed as they reduce the amount of friction generated from the heavier loading on the belting. The exception of the to the standard belt conveyor construction is sandwich belt conveyor. The sandwich belt conveyor uses two conveyor belts instead of one. These two conventional conveyor belts are positioned face to face to firmly contain the items being carried in the sandwich like hold. Conveyor system allow quick and efficient transportation for a wide variety of materials, which make them very popular in the material handling and packaging industries. They also have popular consumer applications as they are often found in supermarkets and airports and constituting the final leg of the item bag delivery to customers. Many kinds of conveying systems are available and are used according to the various needs of the different industries. There are chain conveyors as well. Chain conveyors consist of enclosed tracks, I-beams, tow line, power and free, and hand push trolleys. Conveyor systems are used with widespread across a range of industries due to the numerous benefits they provide. Conveyors are able to safely transport material from one level to another level, which when done by human labor will be strenuous and expensive. They can be installed almost anywhere and are much safer than the forklift and machines to move materials. They can move load all shapes, size, weight. Also many have advanced safety features that helps prevent accident. There are variety of options available for running conveying system, including the hydraulic, mechanical, fluid, automatic system, which are equipped to fit individual needs. Conveyor systems are commonly used in many industries, including the mining, automotive, agricultural, aerospace, electronics, pharmaceuticals, chemical, bottling, and canning, print, finishing, and packaging. Although a wide variety of materials can be conveyed, some of the most common include food items such as bean and nut, bottles and cans, automotive components, scrap metals, pills and powders, wood and furniture, and grain and animal feed. Many factors are important in the accurate selection of the conveyor system. It is important to know how the conveyor system will be used beforehand. Some individual areas that are helpful to consider are the required conveyor operations such as transportation, accumulation, and sorting the material sizes, weights, and shapes, and where the loading and pickup points need to be. Conveyor are used when material is to move frequently between specific points over a fixed path and when there is a sufficient flow volume to justify the fixed conveyor investment. Different types of conveyors can be characterized by the type of product being handled, unit load or bulk load, the conveyor location, in floor, on floor or overhead, and whether or not loads can accumulate on the conveyor. Accumulation allows intermittent movement of each unit of material transported along the conveyor, while all units move simultaneously on conveyor without accumulation capability. For example, while both roller and flat belt are unit load on floor conveyors, the roller provides accumulation capability while the flat belt does not. Similarly, both the power and the free and trolley are unit load overlaid conveyors with the power and free designed to include an extra track in order to provide the accumulation capability lacking in the trolley conveyor. Or example, bulk handling conveyor include magnetic belt, turf fed belt, bucket and screw conveyors. Next are hoists. A hoist is a device used for lifting or lowering a load by means of drum or a wheel load around which rope or chain wraps. It may be manually operated, electrically or pneumatically driven, and may be used chain, fiber of or wire rope as its lifting medium. The most familiar form is an elevator, the car of which is raised and lowered by the hoist mechanism. Most hoists couple to their loads using a lifting hook. A hoist is also known as man-lift, bucolize, temporary elevator, builder hoist, passenger hoist or construction elevator. This type of hoist is commonly used on large scale construction projects such as high-rise building or major hospitals. There are many other uses for the construction elevators. Many other industries use the bucket or full-time operations, the purpose being to carry personal materials and equipment quickly between the ground and higher floors or between floors in the middle of the structure. There are three types: utility to move material, personal to move personal, and dual rated, which can do both. The construction hoist is made up of either one or two cars, cages, which travel vertically along shackled mast tower sections. The mast sections are attached to the structures or building every 25 feet, that is 7.62 meter, for added stability. For precisely controlled travel along the mast section, modern construction hoists use a motorized rack and pinion system that climbs the mast sections at various speeds. Hoists are used on construction sites to vertically transport material and or passengers. They are most commonly powered by diesel engines or electric motors that rotate a drum around which a wire rope is wound. Hoist may also be hydraulically powered and may use chain as the lifting mechanism rather than wire ropes. The landing area must be fitted with some of the guard, usually sliding gates, and the base of the hoist where the which is situated should be well guarded to prevent injury. Hoists differ from cranes in that crane move item vertically and horizontally. Hoists differ from lift in that they are generally used for industrial purposes and are not publicly accessible. There are some types of hoists like mobile hoist. Mobile hoists are commonly found on construction sites and are capable of lifting material loads to height up 30 meters. They are designed to be dismantled, folded onto the chassis and moved to another location with relative ease, either under their own power or towed by haulage vehicle. The mast and which unit is mounted on the platform, typically with a load capacity of 500 kg. This is then stabilized using jack or outriggers extending upward. A lattice hoist mast is constructed to which sections can be added depending on the height required, together with the tie support fixed to scaffolding or the building frame. The next type is passenger hoist. These are designed to lift passengers, although They can also be used for material as long as the weight is kept within the loading capacity. The type of hoist can vary from a single cage with rope suspension to twin cages with rack and pinion operation mounted on the sides of the static tower. They are usually controlled from within the cage, and there must be additional safety devices to prevent runoff, over runoff or free fall. A typically passenger hoist cage is 2.7 meter high and capable of carrying 12 passengers at the total weight of 1000 kg. Typical speeds are 40 to 100 meter per minute. The hoist tower is generally assembled from 1.5 meter long section and tied 12 meter centers to the face of the structure. And the last one is small package hoist. Small package consists of small lifting arms, simple electric motor, and wire rope can be bolted to a structure or to scaffolding and used for light lifting operations of around 500 kg. Next are forklifts. A forklift is a powered industrial truck used to lift and move material over short distances. The forklift was developed in the early 20th century by various companies. Forklifts have become an indispensable piece of equipment in manufacturing and warehousing. Forklifts are one of the most powerful vehicles for builders. Whether you need to move heavy loads in the warehouse or construction field, forklifts can safely lift objects humans cannot, making them indispensable on any job site. Since there is a wide selection of styles and models, it can be difficult to select the forklift. Whether you are looking to rent a forklift for your next project or purchase one, our guide covers the different forklift types, the benefits of each equipment, and popular forklift models to help choose the right forklift for your needs. Forklifts are incredibly convenient machines. They are prominently used in material handling and construction. They are able to lift incredibly large load and reach heights that could frighten most people. Because of this, they are a staple of warehouse and they fill in shelves daily. The most popular types of forklift are warehouse forklift, side loader, counterbalance forklift, telehandler, industrial forklift, rough terrain forklift, pallet jack, bulky stacker, order picker, reach fork truck. The selection of the appropriate types of forklifts. The common feature of forklift trucks include their engine, the driver cab, and the lifting forks. The selection of the appropriate type of the forklift will depend on considerations such as the load and the lifting height required, the use of attachments such as fork extension, boom, rotating heads, drums, clamps, papers, roll clamps, bell clamps, load stabilizer, and so on. Available power sources, electric batteries, the terrain, the need of protect the operator, exposures to the weather, the need of lighting, noise restrictions, etc. Forklift control and capabilities. Forklift control and capabilities. Forklift hydraulically are controlled either with levers directly manipulating the hydraulic valves or by electrically controlled actuators using small fingers levers for controls. Forklift trucks are available in many variation and load capacities. In a typical warehouse setting, most forklifts have load capacity between 1 to 5 tons. Larger machines up to 550 tons lift capacity. In addition to control to raise and lower the fork, also known as blades or tines, the operator can tilt the mast to compensate for all load tendency to angle the blades towards the ground and risk slipping of the fork. Next one is mobile concrete mixer. A concrete mixer is a device that homogeneously combines cement aggregates such as sand or gravel and water to form concrete. A typical concrete mixer uses a revolving drum to to mix the component. For smaller volume works, portable concrete mixers are often used so that the concrete can be made at the construction site, giving the worker ample time to use the concrete before it hardens. An alternative to a machine is mixing concrete by hand. This is usually done in the wheelbarrow. However, several companies have recently begun to sell modified traps for the purpose. Mobile concrete mixer is with tires, so it is convenient to move from side to side, and it is usually used to mix plastic and semi-harsh concrete. They are more suitable for construction site, road, bridge and water power engineering. Compared to the stationary concrete mixer, it is more convenient to change the installation site according to the need of construction project, particularly small and medium size engineering. Working principle of mobile concrete mix machine. Along the wall of the cylinder installs several mixing blades. When the mixer begins to work, the cylinder spins on its own, uses the mixing blades to break up, lift, scatter and shock the materials, and relocates the material and mixing evenly. Here are some advantages. Small volume and lightweight, convenient movement and long service life, reasonable and compact structure and attractive appearance, easy operation and reliable transmission, smooth function and low energy consumption, good mixing quality and fast mixing speed. Next machine is paver machine. Paver or asphalt paver is a paving laying equipment which is used in road construction. Paver contains a feeding bucket in which asphalt is continuously loaded by the dump truck, and paver distributes the asphalt evenly on the road surface with side compaction. However, a roller is required after laying asphalt layer for perfect compaction. A paver finisher, asphalt finisher paving machine is a piece of a construction equipment used to lay asphalt on road, bridge, parking lots and other such places. It lays the asphalt flat and provide manual compaction before it is compacted by a roller. So let us moving towards operation. The asphalt is added from the dump truck or a material transport unit into the paver hopper. The conveyor then carries the asphalt from the hopper to the auger. The auger places the stockpiles of material in front of the skid. The skid takes the stockpiles of material and spread it over the width of the road and provides initial compaction. The paver should provide a smooth uniform surface behind the skid. In order to provide a smooth surface, a free floating skid is used. It is toe at the end of the long arm which reduces the base topology effect on the final surface. The height of the skid is controlled by a number of factors including the attack angle of the skid, weight, vibration of the skid, the material yield and towing forces. Additional control are used to correct the slope, crown or super elevation or finished pavement. In order to provide a smooth surface, the paver should proceed at a constant speed and have consistent stockpile of material in front of the skid. Increase in material stockpile or paver speed will cause the skid to rise, resulting in more asphalt being placed. Therefore, a thicker mat of asphalt and uneven final surface. Alternatively, a decrease in material or a drop in speed will cause the skid to fall and the mat to be thinner. The need for constant speed and material supply is one of the reasons for using a material transfer unit in combination with a paver. A material transfer unit allows for constant material feed to the paver without contact, providing a better end surface. When a dump truck is used to fill the hopper of the paver, it can make contact with the paver or cause it to change speed and affect the skid height. So, talking about concrete paver encompasses a range of types including form riding paver machine, curb and gutter machine, and slip form machine. The most widely used machine for paving concrete roadways is the mainline slip form paver, which extrudes a paved surface without the use of form. Curb and gutter pavers can use variously shaped molds to take place other than flat surfaces such as curbs, roadways, mediate barriers, and bridge parapets. Mainly, mainline pavers automatically change paving width without stopping the paving processes. Road header. Road header is a piece of excavating equipment consisting of a broom mounted cutting head. A loading device usually involves a conveyor and a crawler traveling track to move the entire machine forward into the rock face. A road header machine is called as a boom type or road header. Road header are advanced self-forced and extremely powerful rock cutting machineries are designed to excavate roadways, tunnels, and compartments continuously without using volatile. Powered electro-hydraulically, they produce no fumes and are used extensively in mineral mining, coal mining, and undergoes construction project, whereas their capacity to excavate the desired profile without causing damaging vibrations is highly valued for both safety and environmental reasons. The cutting head can be general purpose rotating drum mounted in a line or perpendicular to the boom, or can be special function heads such as jackhammer like spikes, compression fracture, microwheel heads like those on larger tunnel boring machine, a slicer head like a magnetic chain saw for dicing up rock, or simple jaw like buckets or traditional excavators. It is a piece of excavating equipment consisting of a boom mounted cutting head, a loading machine usually involving a conveyor, a crawler traveling track to move the whole machine forward into the rock face. The road header also includes separate part multi-purpose hydraulic cutting heads for increasing on excavators. The cutting head can be general purpose rotating drum mounted in line or perpendicular to the boom, or can be particularly function heads such as jackhammer like spikes, compression fracture, microwheel heads like those on larger tunnel boring machine like a magnetic chain saw for digging up rock, or simple jaw like buckets for traditional excavators. Construction road headers. Road headers for construction are set with powerful transverse cutter heads proven to give the best cutting performance in a wide range of rock formations. Subway tunnels, shaft sinking, rehabilitation of existing tunnel, road tunnel, and excavation of undergoes caverns are some examples where these machines have established their great flexibility. Mining road headers. Road headers for mining are prepared with powerful transverse cutters head proven to give an unparalleled cutting performance in a wide range of formation of rock. Mounted on an extremely robust hydraulic boom, they are reliable, rugged, highly creative result for both development and direct production duties. Hydraulic cutting heads. Hydraulic cutting heads are designed to be increased on suitable excavators quickly and easily, with transfer cutting structures tried, geometrically optimized and tested on some of the world's most rocky mining and tunneling machines. They are well organized, multi-use tools for various applications including scaling, production, tunnels, treatment, roadways, leveling, trenching and demolition. The next machinery is tunnel boring machine. A tunnel boring machine, that is TBM, is a machine used to excavate tunnel with a circular cross section through a variety of soil and rock strata. They can bore through hard rock, sand and almost anything in between. Tunnel diameter can range from a meter to almost 16 meter to date. Tunnel of less than a meter or so in diameter are typically done by using trenchless construction methods or horizontal directional drilling rather than TBM. Tunnel boring machines are used as an alternative to drilling and blasting method in rock and conventional hand mining in soil. TBM have an advantage of limiting the disturbance to the surrounding ground and producing a smooth tunnel wall. This significantly reduces the cost of lining the tunnel and make them suitable to use in heavily urbanized areas. The major disadvantages is the upfront cost. TBM are expensive to construct and can be difficult to transport. However, as modern tunnel become longer, the cost of tunnel boring machines versus drill and blast is actually less. This is because tunneling with TBM is much more efficient and result in shorter project. The largest diameter TBM at 15.43 meter was built by Herrenkent AG for a recent project in Shanghai, China. The machine was built to bore through soft ground including sand and clay. The largest diameter hard rock TBM at 14.4 meter was manufactured by the Robbins Company for Canada Niagara Tunnel project. The machinery is currently boring the hydroelectric tunnel beneath Niagara Falls. The machine has been named the Big Besky as a reference to the Sir Adam Back hydroelectricity dam to which it tunneling to provide additional hydroelectric tunnel. Next are hard rock TBM, that is hard rock tunnel boring machine. In hard rock, either shielded or open type TBM can be used. All types of hard rock TBM excavate rock using disc cutters mounted in the cutter head. The disc cutter create compressive stress fracture in the rock, causing it to chip away from the rock in front of the machine, called as the tunnel face. The excavated rock, known as muck, is transferred through the opening in the cutter head to the belt conveyor, where it runs through the machine to a system of conveyors or muck cars for removal from the tunnel. Open type TBM have no shield, leaving the area behind the cutter head open for support. To advance, the machine uses a gripper system that pushes against the side walls of the tunnel. The machine can be continuously steered while gripper shoes pushed on the side walls to react the machine forward thrust. In fractured rock, shielded hard rock TBM can be used, which erect concrete segments to support unstable tunnel walls behind the machine. Double shield TBM are also called because they have two modes. In stable ground, they can grip against the tunnel wall to advance forward. In unstable fractured ground, the thrust is shifted to thrust cylinder that push off against the tunnel segment behind the machine. This gives the significant thrust forces against the from impacting fragile tunnel walls. Single shield TBM operates in the same way but are used only in fractured ground, as they can only push off against the concrete segments. Next are soft ground TBM. In soft ground, there are two main types of TBM: earth pressure balance machine and slurry shield. Both types of machine operate like single shield TBM, using thrust cylinder to advance forward by pushing off against concrete segment. Earth pressure balance machine are used in soft ground with less than 7 bar of pressure. The cutter head does not use disc cutters only, but instead of a combination of tungsten carbide cutting bites, carbide disc cutters and or hard rock disc cutters. The EPB gets its name because it is capable of holding up soft ground by maintaining a balance between earth and pressure. The TBM operator and automated system keep the rate of soil removal equal to the rate of machine advance. In soft ground with very high water pressure and large amount of groundwater, slurry shield TBM are needed. These machines offer a completely enclosed working environment. Soils are mixed with bentonite slurry which must be removed from the tunnel through a system of a slurry tube that exits the tunnel. Large slurry separation plants are needed on the surface for this process, which separates the dirt from the slurry so it can be recycled back into the tunnel. While the use of TBM relieves the need of large numbers of workers at high pressure, a cajun system is sometimes formed at the cutting head for the shield TBM. Workers entering in this space for inspection, maintenance and repairs need to be medically cleared as fit to dive and trained operation of the locks. Back subsystem: behind all types of tunnel boring machine inside the finished part of the tunnel are trailing support decks known as backup system. Support mechanism located on the backup can include conveyors or other system for muck removal, slurry pipeline if applicable, control room electric system, dust removal, ventilation and mechanism for transport of precast segments. Urban tunneling and near surface tunneling. Urban tunneling has the special challenge of requiring that the ground surface be undisturbed. This means that ground subsidence must be avoided. The normal method of doing in this soft ground is to maintain the soil pressure during and after the tunnel construction. There is some difficulty in doing this, particularly in varied strata, for example boring through a region where the upper portion of the tunnel face is wet sand and lower portion is hard rock. TBM with positive phase control such as EPB and SS are used in such situations. Both types are capable of reducing the risk of surface subsidence and voids if operated properly and if ground conditions are well documented. When tunneling in urban environments other than other tunnels, existing utility line and deep foundation need to be addressed in the early planning stages. The project must accommodate measures to migrate any detrimental effect to other infrastructure. So, talking about slurry pressure balance SPB TBM, the basic principle of this TBM is to maintain the phase pressure during the excavation phase by filling the working chamber located behind the cutter head with slurry. Advantages are allow soft, wet or unstable ground to be tunneled with a speed and safety not previously possible. Suitable for ground with high water pressure below water table, limits ground settlement and produces a smooth tunnel wall. This significantly reduces the cost of lining the tunnel and makes it suitable to use in heavily unurbanized area. Disadvantages are: the major disadvantages is the upfront capital cost. TBM are expensive to construct, difficult to transport, require significant backup system and power. Drive can be hindered by large stones and boulders. Second one is earth pressure balance. This is a mechanical turning method in which spoil is admitted into the tunnel boring machine via screw conveyors arrangement, which allows the pressure at the face of the TBM to remain balanced without this use of slurry. Advantages are: it allows soft, wet or unstable ground to be tunneled with speed and safety not previously possible, limit ground settlement and produces a smooth tunnel wall. This significantly reduces the cost of lining the tunnel and makes it suitable to use in heavily urbanized areas. Disadvantages are: the major disadvantages is the upfront capital cost. TBM are expensive to construct, difficult to transport, require significant backup system and power. And the last type of TBM is hard rock TBM. This method involves the use of tunneling machine with shield and cutter head suitable for hard rock. Advantages of this is they offer a continuous and controlled means of tunneling capable of high rates of advance under favorite condition. And disadvantages are, the major disadvantages is the upfront capital cost. TBM are expensive to construct, difficult to transport, require significant backup system and power. Their applicability is limited to long tunnel where the high rates of advance and tunnel quality can offset their high capital cost. Here your third chapter is over. Thank you.